The one-person AI company is not a fantasy anymore, but it is also not what most people think. It is not one person magically doing the work of 50 experts. It is one person using AI to remove the dead weight between an idea and a customer, research, production, support, operations, analysis, distribution. The solo operator is starting to coordinate pieces that used to require a small team. This is educational content. It is not career, legal, or financial advice. Before AI, most small businesses did not die from a lack of ideas. They died from execution drag. The founder had to write the copy, build the landing page, answer the emails, make the product, research the market, edit the video, track the numbers, fix the website, post the content, follow up with customers. Each task was small by itself. Together, they became a wall. That wall forced people to hire before they were ready, or move slowly, or stay tiny. AI changes the shape of that wall. It does not remove business difficulty. It removes some of the coordination tasks, and that is a big deal. The one-person AI company works when the operator builds a stack, not a pile of random tools. A stack. One tool helps with research, one helps with writing, one helps with images or video, one helps with code, one helps with customer support, one helps with automation, one helps track the numbers. The magic is not the tools, the magic is the handoff between them. A customer question becomes a support answer, that answer becomes a product insight, that insight becomes a content idea. That content brings in another customer, that customer creates more data. That is a loop, and loops are where solo operators get leverage. Think about the difference between a task list and an operating system. A task list says, make a post, answer an email, check analytics, update the offer. An operating system says every customer question feeds the knowledge base. Every sales objection becomes a content idea. Every content idea becomes a test. Every test creates data. Every data point improves the offer. That is where the one-person company gets strange. The person is not doing less thinking. They are doing less manual handoff. Here is the trap. Tools do not create a company. Customers do. Distribution does. A painful problem does. Cash flow does. A lot of people are building one-person AI companies backwards. They start with the tool stack, then they go looking for a reason it should exist. That is backwards. Start with a customer who has a painful, repeatable problem. Then use AI to serve that customer faster, cheaper, or with more consistency. If nobody wants the outcome, automation only helps you fail efficiently. That is the brutal part. AI can make you look productive while you avoid the market, and the market is still the boss. There is another trap too. Pretending small means easy. A one-person company still has to make promises it can keep. It still has to handle complaints. It still has to collect money. It still has to protect customer trust. It still has to choose what not to do. AI can make the company smaller. It does not make consequences disappear. That is why the best solo operators look boring from the outside. They are not chasing every shiny tool. They are tightening one offer, one workflow, and one customer relationship. The real advantage of the solo AI company is speed with taste, not speed by itself. Speed by itself creates noise, more posts, more landing pages, more offers, more automated emails, more half-built products. Taste decides what should exist. Taste decides what should be deleted. Taste decides when the output is good enough to ship and when it is just AI-flavored clutter. That is why the one-person company still needs a point of view. AI can create options. It cannot care for you. It cannot choose your customer for you. It cannot decide what promise you are willing to stand behind. The solo operator who wins is not the busiest. It is the one who can move fast and still make sharp decisions. Picture the practical version. One person runs a niche research business. AI gathers sources. The operator checks the claims. AI drafts the report. The operator adds judgment. Automation sends the deliverable. A support assistant handles common questions. Analytics show what clients read. The next report gets sharper. That is a one-person AI company. Or one person runs a content business. AI helps with research, scripts, thumbnails, captions, repurposing, and analytics. The human owns the taste, the promise, and the relationship with the audience. That is the model, not replacing the founder, removing the friction around the founder. This is also why niche matters. The broader the company, the more coordination it needs. The narrower the promise, the more leverage one person can create. Do not build an AI agency for everyone. Build a lead qualification system for local clinics. Do not build a content machine for every business. Build a weekly research brief for one type of investor, founder, or operator. Do not build a generic assistant. Build a specific workflow that saves a specific person from a specific recurring headache. Specificity is what lets a solo company feel bigger than it is. So how do you build toward this? Start smaller than your ambition. Pick one audience, pick one painful, repeatable problem, pick one outcome people already spend money or time to get, then build one loop. Audience problem comes in, AI helps process the work, human judgment improves it, customer gets the result, feedback improves the system. Do not automate everything on day one. Automate the drag, keep the judgment, document the process, measure the result, then add the next system. That is how a one-person company becomes real. not by pretending to be a giant company, by becoming a very focused small one with unfair leverage. The first version should almost feel too simple. One offer, one channel, one delivery promise, one feedback loop, one dashboard that tells you if it is working. Then you add AI where the drag is obvious. If research is slow, automate research support. If support is repetitive, automate first draft replies. If delivery is inconsistent, automate checklists and QA. If content takes too long, automate repurposing. The sequence matters. Pain first, system second, AI third. There's one more thing people miss. The one-person AI company is not just a productivity story, it is a margin story. If one person can sell a narrow service, deliver it with a repeatable system, and keep quality high without hiring a full team, the economics change. You do not need venture scale for the business to matter. You do not need a huge staff. You do not need 10 departments. You need a customer, a painful problem, a reliable delivery system, and enough distribution to keep the loop alive. That is why this is going to create a strange middle class of companies. Too small to look like startups, too automated to look like freelancers, too profitable to ignore, and too focused for big companies to copy quickly. That is the weird opportunity, not pretending to be huge. Building something small, sharp, and hard to compete with, the one-person AI company is getting real because the bottleneck is moving. Less time on coordination, more time on judgment, less waiting for a team, more building around a loop. But the rule is still the same. Tools do not replace the customer. Tools do not replace the promise. Tools do not replace taste. They amplify them. Subscribe for more practical AI strategy, and I will see you in the next one.